Right, it's time to turn this into looking like this. Let's go. Hello, welcome to the workshop. If you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, you're probably looking at that intro, probably very confused. So just to recap, it's got a 2022 Classic 350, stolen and recovered, which I've been refinishing, and it's nearly coming to the end. But it's time to finish all the cycle parts, tank, everything. So that's this week, that's what's happening. And if you've missed those episodes, you may have missed it. It's not going to be a conventional finish. It's going to be a distressed, rusty finish, like we did to this kit guitar, which is a paint called Rusty Paint, literally Rusty Paint, from rustypaint.com. I'll leave a link to them. They ship all over the world if you have a desire for rust. So we did the guitar as an experiment, and I like how it worked out. So no matter how shiny this bike is and how beautiful we've made all the other bits, we're going to do this to it today. Today it will be done one way or another. If you remember the original bike, all the original parts were all dented or damaged. So I haven't really lost, I haven't risked a beautiful bike to do this. It's, we'll see what happens, but I'm very confident that it's going to come out like this, because I just love this dry, rusty finish. And it's still changing, it's still maturing every time I come in and see it. It's rusted a bit more, so it doesn't rust away, because it's just wood, it's not metal. It's just the paint that's rusty. So where are we at? Right, all these parts, they're all sanded. They're all primed. They're all prepped. So, rusty paint is going on this. And at the end of this video, we'll see what we're left with. Literally. So, let's roll up our sleeves. Get it done. Aha, here we are, painting day has arrived. I think I'm ready. Just got to give these a rub down, not sand down, just a literal rub down, just to get some sanding dust off, so the paint can stick properly. But otherwise, I think we're ready to go. We'll have a quick check over, but it's time to apply the paint. So front and rear mudguard, tank, 2 toolbox side covers. Probably made them smoother than it needs to be, but never mind, that can't be bad. Hopefully. Got these cleaned up. I think we're ready to go. Kind of a one-way trip, this, so it's got to work. But hey, we'll be all right. And not only have we got the normal cycle parts, but I've also got a couple of other things. Have a look at this. Right, you'll probably recognise that as a sump guard, which I've rubbed down. These are one of the cheap copies, not the genuine Royal Enfield one. So it's made a bit crudely, but then that's going to fit with the whole aesthetic, isn't it? So I've just rubbed that down. We've also got a couple of engine bars. These are the Aerofly ones. Airfly engine guards. So these are going to be rusty too. So whoop-de-doo. A full set of things. So last wipe down, mix paint, put it on. Ew. As predicted, there's no way to save the first roller we used. It's kind of mummified into a hardened resin. So that's basically what the bike's covered in. I got a new roller to sacrifice itself for this. In case you missed the previous episodes, it's not going to be a pretty bike. Well, I think it is, but we're going to use Rusty Paint from rustypaint.com. I'll leave a link. They're not a sponsor. I expect they want to run away as fast as possible. So it's a super thick paint. Look at that. With particles suspended in it, magic particles apparently, which we mix with the hardener. And then when it's all dry, you spray the activator on, and that's what does the rusting. But first stage, just get this paint on. I think they're trying to sort it out so that you can get it in America, because you can't send it on an aeroplane. It's that fierce. Right, let's start with these, and then we better have a time lapse. There we go. Evenly covered. Right, stop playing with it. Let's do the rest. Here comes a time lapse. Whew, there we go. Coat one is done. I had to open the door for that. That was some really strong fumes. But hey, we've got a grey Signals edition. Except it's not going to stay that way. Obviously, this is just drying off. So it dries off, it flashes off very quickly. There's a few dark patches where it's still wet, of course. I've only just finished painting it, so it's quite mottled still. Made sure to get plenty in the bullet holes. So I do want rusty bullet holes. I'm desperately trying to see if I've missed anywhere. Although I don't think it matters much. It's all part of the look. Welcome back. Check it out. My empire of dirt. Brilliant. So it's not actually the next morning. It's about a week later, because I haven't had any time to come and do this. Although I did pop in and put a very light second coat over the top, just to make it a bit more uniform and cover up some bits I've missed. So we'll have a look at these now. But they're all coated. I think it's gone really well. Even these bits. Come and have a look. Just show you the tank first. I was a bit more gentle with the painting than on the guitar. And you can kind of see that instead of roller marks, it's ended up with this sort of dappled finish, which I think is going to be much better. Because when that rusts, that'll look kind of more natural. If there was such a thing. I guess rust is natural, isn't it? It's kind of a symphony of greyness at the moment. The side covers are nice. I mean, if you can call that nice. And the front mudguard. We've got our sump guard. And the bars, I think these even look the best, really. If best is a suitable word again. Because they look a little bit, because you're sort of attacking it with the roller, it's a bit more textured. Which is going to look good with the rust. Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm saying all this, I mean, if it's terrible, we'll say it's terrible. And the rear rack, I kind of deliberately made that rough as well. So when it's all rusted up, hopefully it looks really sort of vintage and old. But here we are. So Rusty Paint from rustypaint.com. But as I said, before we can make it rusty, I want to add some stripes, like on the guitar, and some think about the graphics on the tank. It's a lovely looking tank with sort of factory stripes off. It's a lovely, very organic curved shape. Beautiful. So what are the challenges? Right, have a look. Just in case you missed previous episodes, and the whole reason for this and what I'm trying to do, this was the trial of the Rusty Paint. So this was just a wooden finish guitar. This is just wood, obviously. And this was finished in Rusty Paint, as was the headstock. This part. Now, a few things to learn from that is, nicely, the finish is still developing, as the supplier said it would. It's sort of, the colours are getting even deeper and more textured, which is brilliant. So how this bike looks will change for quite some time. Then it should sort of settle down to its final form. A bit like people, I guess. Now, a few things to learn is I put this Royal Enfield decal on. It was just a sticker. which kind of works, but also kind of doesn't, because it looks better on the camera than real life, but it's very obviously, there we are. That's more what it looks like in real life, when you can see all the reflection. So decals on top of this rust is not a way to go. That's not going to happen. It's okay. I mean, it's, in sort of a grand scheme of things, it's okay, but it very obviously just looks like what it is, which is just a sticker on top. So my idea to put stickers on the side of the tank isn't going to happen, because it's just going to look terrible, and it's probably not going to adhere properly as well. It's good enough for this. Oh, let's see, look. Good enough for this display item, but probably not good enough for a motor vehicle. But loving that, and its rustiness, like an old ship or something. Poor bikey. Now the only thing standing between this and this is spraying on the activation stuff, peroxide or acid, whatever magic ingredient is in it. If I spray this now, it's going to do that, but I need to add some, just a bit of detail, so I'm going to put some stripes on it. Stripes on the bike. We're going to have a play with this now. And have a think about side logos, because you kind of have to commit to that. Now, these side parts, I did pick up some classic 350 stickers, but as we just said, stickers are not going to work. So I've been collecting a few odds and ends from India. And for a few pounds, I got these Bullet 350 solid brass badges, which fit with bolts. Might cut these off, might use these, but either way. So which side are we on? Rider side. So I think, so these will be rusty. Oh yeah, well, that's cool. Stick on there. That'll be rusty, and I'll have the brass on top. I know it's a classic 350, but it's sort of becoming a Bullet 350. But as we know, the new Bullet is a classic 350, so I'm just kind of working backwards there. And I won't do anything to protect this brass, so this will kind of go dull and green. Although copper goes green, brass kind of goes to sort of a muted dull colour, doesn't it? But either way, I'm quite happy for them to sort of corrode and go off, because that'll match these when they rust. But again, that'll be an organic thing that can develop over time. That'll look quite nice on the rust, I think. I got one for the other side, which is a mirror image. You don't have to fly backwards. The tank, I got these again. These are cheap from India, which are basically off the chrome version, and I think they're also the same as the ones on the Interceptor. Self-adhesive badges. I know we said things wouldn't stick on, but I can, if I did want to use these, I could scrape stuff off to me. I can make that work. But I'm not so sure. It's kind of, it's disturbing me that it's too good for that bit. So I might stick these somewhere else. Ooh. Cool. Oh yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, perhaps we'll do that. Or, my most likely thing is in the same way as we masked and sort of ghosted these stripes on with satin black, I'm going to use this vinyl decal. I like the vintageness of this font. So that'll act as a mask. So the actual letters will be rust coloured, and the white space in between will kind of be in faded black. And some stripes. So, and I like the way that looks like nothing else. Once I put that on, it kind of looks a bit production Royal Enfield. No, that's not working. Do not want. Yes, yes, I want this. So, these on. Stripes, stripes, stripes. Undecided. Let's not go there. Or there. Right. If you can call it that, we've got a plan. I think I'll start with the front mudguard, because the front mudguard is skinnier than the rear. So if I did something on the rear, I couldn't copy it to the front possibly because I'd be too wide. So come up with a solution for this. Copy it onto there. And then onto the tank. Right, let's get going. Right, so I have a pile of masking tape and pinstriping tape to mask these up. Some very thin tapes of different thickness. I'm going to have to work kind of backwards because it's not so easy to put a stripe over here, because if you try and do it in a straight line, obviously it'll follow the curve and it'll go somewhere you don't want. So first of all, I'm going to put masking where I do want the paint, and then put some pinstripe tape where I don't want it, and then I'll take away the first tape, and then that will leave. So basically I'm going to go with a black center stripe, 2 small stripes each side. I'm not going to measure because that's the path to madness, especially on a pressed part like this, because there's no way it's just all going to be symmetrical, and measuring is just going to make you feel ill, so I'm just going to do it by eye. He says, so he makes a mess of it. If I never show you a picture from a certain angle, that's because I've probably got it really bad. So these just have to go beside this one. If this is a super gloss custom job, the placement of these would be much more important. And one on this side. If you're completely confused, I'm pretty there myself, to be honest. But it made sense in my head. Let's add these and then take off what we don't need. Please leave a like and comment if you're watching a guy silently put tape on metal motorbike bits. So what we've got is thick stripe, pinstripe, pinstripe, So what's going to happen is, oh, we need more tape. Right, so if we get rid of the middle one, and these two outer ones, so I'll keep them. And that one. Grey that's left should be turning black. So here, because we used the tape to mark the middle, even though it's curved, we've got a lovely uniform spacing, look. Good, that went really well. So I'm going to add a little bit more masking on the side, because obviously I want to spray this now. I don't want to get spray all over our lovely bullet holes. When I bought those vinyl decals, a nice chap who makes them sent another one. And if you look on your Royal Enfield, at the rear mudguard here, rear light goes here. It says Royal Enfield here, a bit of a badge. So obviously that's gone, but to add a bit of flavour, we're going to use this decal as a mask. I know you can't see it properly yet, but it's basically the Royal Enfield Wings logo. It's quite the modern logo, but still. I mean, the whole bike is a pastiche tragedy anyway, so I think we can mix all our years and metaphors and what have you. So I peel off the back. It's that one. Now it's in white, but that's irrelevant because it's just going to be a paint mask. So where you see white will be rust, and where you're seeing dark will be the black paint. So it'll be the negative version. So we're going to stick this around the back and have stripes coming off each side. That's the plan anyway. Now it's wanting to buckle up a bit because it's a compound curve. This is curving in two directions. It's always going to struggle, but that will sort itself out. Not sure that bodes well for the other ones either. Again, it all adds to the homemade crudity. There's plenty of that. So again, this isn't the sticker, this is just a mask. So I can spray it and get these black shaded areas. Okay, so thick one and middle ones. Just moving on to a lovely tank. I think this badge is going to go about here. It seems that the center of them seems to line up with the fuel neck, and roughly the top of the knee pad. It doesn't have to be the same, but it seems like this is the crown of the tank. So should go about there. Obviously it's going to look weird because there's no other classic got a badge like this, but it does now. I'm looking at pictures of the bike. The tank seems to sit horizontal, so I'm just going to use a straight edge. Just line this up vertically. Again, it's all subjective, but I think that'll do. And at least it means I can repeat the same both sides quite easily. Let's have a look. Looks a bit warped through the camera because I've got a wide angle lens on. But that's pretty good. Obviously it's going to be a mask again, so what's black will be rusty and what's white will be black. So this ring around the outside, it won't actually be a thing. This will just be black. Anyway, let's stick it on. Put a bit more masking tape over the top now that I'm happy. Let's release the bottom. I think this will crinkle a bit, but not too much. Just let that flop down. Don't do that. Just as it was. Okay. Still vertical. Work from the inside out so we can mess it up equally. I'm not too bothered about the ring around the outside as long as the letters lay flat. I think see it's crinkling up because it's going around a globe or a surface. Take that, flat earthers. There we go. Now, we might add some more detail to that. But we'll stick the other side on first while it's fresh in my mind how that went down. Hopefully the other side is a bit easier. I think there's lots of people home making these graphics with those sort of DIY cutters you can get. Is it Cricuts they're called? You can get vinyl cutters quite cheap on Amazon. Bit cheap graphics, hard work. Certainly get what you pay for. So, black, 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 black. A bit like the Twin Towers, really. With those sort of trident themes. Because there's this masking in here that's coming out anyway, and it's still black under there. The original factory black, although it's kind of bare metal as well, isn't it? Under the filler. I'm pretty happy with that. That's good. That's filled out the tank a bit. That's better than just basic stripes, I think. I mean, I'm saying that. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Just have to imagine for now, I promise. Now, let's have a look at the sides, just in case there's something to be gained there. I think I've got a plan for side detailing, which I've just mocked up with some little bits of tape there. Now, they'd be black as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray the rest first, and I can add those after. So we'll do the main bits first, then we'll have a think about that. If only because I can make a little mask then and use the same mask 4 times rather than try and mask around all these bits of tape, which is just going to be a disaster. So I think we can prep to spray the main body. Okay, so I think I'm ready to put some black paint on this, but obviously a lot of masking to do. So let's speed up and get on with it. So many decisions. Right, ready to go. Now, if after all that you're expecting something really fancy to happen, after all that work and all that lining up and all this taping, what's actually going to happen is just a very light coat of satin black, just to give like a shadow of something that perhaps was there, but's now faded away, or is now damaged. So just going to put the lightest coat on here, maybe just one coat as well. Oh boy, this better not go wrong. Bit satin black, let's get ready.
I painted this tiny rusty paint, but I think I prefer it to go black actually.
It's been drying about 5 minutes. We're nearly ready to unmask it. I love the way the black texture is on this textured paint. You might be horrified, but it really looks like what paint looks like on rust, doesn't it? So I'm hoping when that's activated, that's all going to be even better than the guitar, because I had quite a few roller marks in, but this one doesn't, so. Excited to see that. Hope I haven't screwed it up. Yeah, this is tough as boots. It's been 5 minutes, that's all. It's tough as boots, this paint, and I want to be able to abrade it, so I'm not going to do a second coat. It just seems like the complete opposite to what you'd usually do to do a good thing, which is kind of obvious because it's not at all a good thing. Right. Let's have a look. Just check you can see. So much sticky. I'm not expecting this to leave a really clean, sharp edge because of the textured paint. That's okay. It's okay because it'll all add to it, I think. So here we go. Ooh, stripey. Hey, look at that. Hey, oh, I love it. It's just so simple and honest graphics. Nothing fancy. I'll get the glare off here. There you go. See how the angle of this is the same as that angle. Except this will all be rusty, of course. Oh, it's so flat looking. God, if it's any flatter, it'd be Norfolk. Oh, yes. Right, let's get some more off. Pride comes before a fall, so I hope we haven't messed something up. You watch, I'm going to paint something now and it's going to have a stripe stuck next to the wrong stripe or something. No? Win-win. Nice. Right, what should we do next? Front mudguard. Ready? Hey! A bit of bleed around the edge of that tape. That's okay. Because the style of bike kind of implies it was hand painted anyway. Oh yeah, look at that. super flat. Unleash that stripe. Hey! Very pleased with this so far. Very pleased. Try and keep out of your way so you can see everything. Right, one more bit. Hey, hey! Have a look at this. That's going to look so cool. I'm so happy with that. We haven't even done the tank yet. Please go well. Please go well. Let's have a look. Okay, tanky, tanky. I forgot we can get the knee pads out as well. I assume they're still there. Tiny bit of bleed there, that's no problem. Ah, such a clean edge, excellent. God, that paint's made that plastic so brittle. Ooh. Oh, it's going to be even better than I thought. I thought this would look a little bit ropey. I mean, you might think it does. But, typical. My battery chose that exact second to die, so you didn't see the R getting revealed. That's okay, because we got under the whole side. taking all my self-control not to just rip at this like Christmas morning. Let's try again. Nice arse. I love it. That looks so cool when it goes rusty. Bit of overspill there. We'll rub that off, don't worry. Right. The trident stripes. I know you all want to see that. Do that one. Neat. One here somewhere. Gotcha. Right, so look around the front. Check it out. That'll look lovely with that new chrome cap in the middle. That's so awesome. Actually, the center of that. Did I take the center out? Yes, let's take the center out. Just so I know if it needs any rectification. If I've missed any edges or anything. Need it clean, I'm sure. Yeah, it needs a clean. That should be basically the gloss black under there. Yes, it is. Check it out. I love his little black shoulders. So let's line that up with the front mudguard. Ready? That's all. That's it. Right. Just got to do that again without screwing it up. Here it is. All ready for activation tomorrow. So tomorrow, this is going to turn rusty like the guitar. So we've got our matching stripes. Spreads out. Matching stripe up the front. Couple of logo flashes on the side panels. Some nice rusty engine bar and the C5 style rack. You might notice this rack is a bit different from the ones you usually see for the Reborn, because it doesn't lock into where the seat fits. It locks into the suspension bolts and ties down to the mudguard frames, so it look really vintagey and not modern. We've got our flying logos. And when they're burnt in, I'm hoping that's going to look completely mint. Ready to go. Can't believe we're finally here. Make those bullet holes rusty. So, activation. Another morning, another t-shirt. Look at this. We're ready. It's all dry, it's ready to go. We're going to put the activator on and we're going to turn all this into this. The grey does look really good though. So I would have gone with a colour scheme like this. And really the yellow pinstriping looked good on the grey. For another time maybe. But this is going to go rusty. So we're going to need some gloves. We need to mix the activator and rub it on this. So let's have a final look at this. That's how it is. And we'll do it. Right. Excellent. That shall become that. And this rust is maturing quite nicely. They said it would develop. And it's got to get deeper and deeper if you're into rust like that. And shortly, this should all look like that. Now, funny enough, Rusty Paint has got a Facebook group with help tips and similar, and I happened to be browsing and I saw a good tip that, if you might remember when you saw this a few moments ago, or yesterday for me, all the black was super sharp. But they did recommend dabbing over just some little bits of the rusty paint, just to sort of de-sharpen the edges and give it a bit of a bloom. So this rust will appear to be sort of breaking through the black. Especially if we look at that Royal Enfield logo. I've just dabbed a bit on, just as if it's all coming off, which is kind of how we wanted. So we've got a lot of rubbing to do. Can't put it off any longer, as good as it looks in its little way. Right, let's do it. You know it's getting serious when the serial killer plastic comes up. Oh yeah. Activator bottle and powder. Now it says a tablespoon of activator to 250 ml of water, but you need to rub it on, so I don't want it in the bottle, so I'll just use that as a measure for now. I've got a dessert spoon. Apparently 1.5 dessert spoons is a tablespoon. And it works on the guitar anyway, so. Let's do a bit more. The particles that need to rust are within this paint, and obviously it will have sunk in a little. So, first coat, you have to use a scourer to rub the activator in to expose the particles. Apparently, then they will rust. Well, it did in the guitar. Now it says to do it like your life depends on it, but to be honest, I didn't do it that hard on the guitar. So we'll give it a good rub in with the activator, and hopefully this will do. And this stuff, honestly, it's hard as nails. It's like no paint I've ever seen. It's so tough. Right, there's the end of the rub-in. As you can see, the tank is resting up. Side panels are catching up. Front mudguards just starting its green phase. That's the rear, which is just starting it as well. See, it's just starting to go green. And then we'll go rusty. So when these dry, we'll spray some more on, but we don't have to rub it. Just spray with that applicator bottle. Right, let's do the bars. Fast. So I've been at it it's only been about 20 minutes, less than that, 15 minutes since I started the tank. That's really started to rust up. It's still wet on the top, which is why it looks sort of darker. But that's just starting to dry off. Oh, look at all that rust. Don't often hear that. And then, as you can see, we did those next. Front mud guard. Then these are obviously still wet, so we can let these dry off, which isn't going to be long at all because it's quite a warm day, surprisingly. And then we're going to waggle our fingers, use a spray bottle and wet them off again, and then, like I did on the guitar, when that dries, do it again, but really focus on areas you want to rust. So that's going to be edges, bullet holes. And I thought on the sump guard, sort of more down the middle, because you'd expect the middle to rust more because of the road spray. Around the locks, maybe. Yeah. Bad. Right. I'll have a break. Maybe I'll have a coffee. Let's let these dry. Right, it's been about an hour or so, and that has rusted up quick. Apologies for the light. I've opened the door for reasons that have become obvious now. I'll just show you these in the light. And obviously they are rusted up quick and fast. And what we've got on the top is the dried activator with the rust in it, so it's kind of not a real representation because that shouldn't be there. That's just sitting on top, so we're going to wash that off now. Funny enough, I just licked my finger and rubbed some of that off and licked my finger again, and I really wish I hadn't done that because it sure burns like a mofo. So no tea for me. Don't put your finger in the activator and put it in your mouth. That's why they have warnings on bottles like that, for morons like me. So, we'll get it up on the bench of doom, and we'll spray another coat. Aha. Yeah, so you got it back inside. We're going to spray this now, which will wash away quite a bit of this, I hope, because it's not sitting quite how you'd want it to. You notice I've positioned them how they will be on the bike, because when I spray this now, it's going to run down exactly as it would on the bike. If I turned it upside down and sprayed it, it would look like your rust was going the wrong way, if there was such a thing. And the same with the side panels. I love the side panels. I'm loving that already. Again, I've tried to position them how they are on the bike, so as it runs down. So let's spray it. second coat of the activator has dried off. And that's great for that. I just want to add a bit of detailing spray around the holes and the edges. That's where I've been rubbing it. That'll clean off now. So in some bits, I want it to look more burnt than others. I'm sure you're thinking it looks quite burnt enough to me. But no, more burning. If I set my spray to the spraying setting, hopefully we can get a bit of character going on. Let's see if it didn't have quite enough. Right, you ready? Here we go. Now I've been busy with work for a few days, so this has all been sitting here maturing and getting closer to its final finish. I'll give you a good look now. I won't lie, after doing this, it was quite a shock. It was quite a shock seeing this like this, even though I was expecting it from the guitar. Being so used to classic 350 looking shiny, and then doing it in the grey with the pinstriping, which did look really smart in its own way, didn't it? And then rustificating it was I was a bit queasy. I thought, oh, what have I done? But now I've come back to it and I've seen it. I love it. It's brilliant. I can't wait to put it back together. So I'm very happy now. So it was a bit of a mental journey to go through. Now, I'm sure you might be feeling queasy yourself, and I completely understand. But I'm going to show you all these now in detail. Because it's been quite a few days, spread over a couple of weeks, getting this all sorted because I've been quite busy. But I'm very excited to see these on the bike, and we'll stick the tank on. We'll just slide the tank on. We'll do a little bit of a preview. But I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to show you around now. Show you the tank. And let me know what you think. I'm sure you will. I can't wait. Wait till you see this. I'm hiding this. You can't see this. So let's have a look. Let me know. And I think we're pretty much ready to put this bike, such as it is, back together. So thanks again for watching and sticking it through. Or even if you fast forward to the end, I don't blame you one bit. Have a look at this. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.